You read the title. I'm getting ready for backlash. So, yeah, if you are new to the channel, since the announcement of Star Wars The High Republic, when they announced their first few Jedi, I instantly grew a hatred towards the character of Avar Kriss because they labeled her as the best of the best, and I was very concerned, very upset that they were going to make another Mary Sue character. And I've kind of been trashing on Avar Kriss for a long time now. And as I've read more of the High Republic, Avar is honestly not a Mary Sue. Like, the writers actually learned. So, I'll just give some backdrop on my opinions about the High Republic overall. They might not be what you expect, but my opinion has changed actually pretty significantly, I would say. Not like crazy, but so when it was initially announced, I considered it like an absolute joke. Then I read the first few books and the first few comics, and I thought they were alright. They were alright for the most part. And then I would say it was The Rising Storm, which was the novel written by Cavan Scott, actually kind of blew my mind. Like, The Rising Storm is probably one of, if not the best novels I've read out of the new Disney canon, if not the best. Like, I would put it like Legends worthy. It's not Darth Bane trilogy level, it's not Darth Plagueis level. It's like, I would put it around like Labyrinth of Evil. So it's not as good as like the absolute best, but I would put it Labyrinth of Evil level, maybe even Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader level. Like that's how much I enjoyed it. And that blew my mind. And I went back and I actually reread the original Light of the Jedi, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more, especially after reading Rising Storm and kind of understanding it more. That book, again, still not one of my favorites, but I feel a lot more positively towards it. And then Cavan Scott's comics have also been really just a solid run all the way through. So I don't actually think the High Republic is that bad. I don't think it's great. Like, I don't think it's the best of the best of the best. It ain't beaten New Jedi Order. It's not beaten anything Old Republic. It's not beaten anything KOTOR. But I don't think it's as bad as most people are making it out to be. And take it from someone who's actually read the books and who's actually been somewhat following along. I haven't followed everything. Like, apparently they're making like a High Republic like cookbook or something. I'm not gonna get into that, but for the most part, I've kind of kept up. And as someone who has, I can say, at least the Del Rey novels are really, really, really good. But so I would say now onto the topic. Like, there are characters who I actually genuinely like in the High Republic. I mentioned Bell Zettifar in my review of Light of the Jedi. That has not changed. Actually, I think I like Bell Zettifar more after The Rising Storm. Like, for him and Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order are probably my two favorite Disney canon characters that are brand new to Disney canon. And that's saying something, because if you've seen the channel before, you know how much I like Jedi Fallen Order. So putting Bell on that pedestal is pretty big. Who knows, maybe I'll even do Bell Zettifar versus Cal Kestis one day. Maybe I'll do a versus series with them. I might wait a little bit, because Bell doesn't have a whole lot of combative feats. He has some, but he doesn't have a lot. So I might wait a little bit until he has a few more feats up his sleeve. I could use Cal Kestis any day. He is enough. But Bell, I might wait a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, he's a really cool character. But that's not the focus of this video. The focus is the fact that Avar Kriss might not actually be a Mary Sue. And I'm going to tell you why she's not exactly a Mary Sue. So, first and foremost, she has a really weird romance with Elzar Mann, and from what it's described, like in Light of the Jedi and the Rising Storm, it wasn't a very perfect relationship. It was very breaking the Jedi rules. Also, many people argued with me initially about why Avar isn't Mary Sue, and it's because she's a fully trained Jedi Master. Like, we know she has, that was the main argument against me, and I really can't argue against that. Yeah, she's a fully trained Jedi Master. We know who her master was. We know she had a lot of training, and she's in her 30s, and she has, like, full training, so can't really argue with that. Secondly, kind of a Jedi rule breaker at times. And then I also wanted to bring up her battling with the Drengir. She gets captured twice by the Drengir, actually. And the second time, she would have died if Keeve Trennis didn't save her life. And it took all of the Jedi to defeat the Drengir, and they only would have won if Keeve hadn't shown up. Like, and Keeve Trennis is not a Mary Sue, by the way. She's actually a very interesting character for the High Republic. She's one of their stronger characters. But, yeah, like, Avar actually had to rely on other Jedi to save her life. And that's not a Mary Sue thing. Like, that's not a Mary Sue thing. Like, Rey Skywalker would have never needed that. But Avar Kriss did. Moving on to my fourth thing. My fourth thing, and this is actually one of the newest things that's happened to Avar, is Avar completely defies the Jedi Council, and she accepts Keeve Trennis's very risky, very dangerous plan for her and another Jedi to go undercover in the bad guy's base. Avar recklessly agrees to this, and it goes really bad, actually. 2 Jedi die. Keeve survives, but 2 Jedi die. And they fail to capture one of the Nile leaders. Like, and Avar even does the thing where the Jedi use the Force to pull the ship back down. She tries it, and she fails. Like, she goes for the ship, and she actually loses it. All of this is not Mary Sue things. And, like, she goes against the Jedi Council, and she gets 2 Jedi killed. And, like, it's not like she gets away with this. Like, she's genuinely, like, a point is made about that she made a mistake. And also, one thing I'm very interested in is her mentality has actually changed throughout the story. So, in the comics, there's a scene where Skier, or the Trandoshan Jedi, he's, like, talking about the bad guys, and he's like, they're just thugs and marauders, they're bad people. And Avar's like, we should never, like, criticize our enemies, we don't know their story. Like, that's Avar's response. And now in one of the newer comics that I saw, Skier is basically rushing in to save Keeve, and he's having a little moment of the dark side. But he's not really doing it out of selfishness. He's doing it to save his Padawan who's near death. And Avar's response to that is, I thought I could give him a second chance, but I guess I was wrong. Once you start down the dark path, they'll forever dominate your destiny. Like, she went from being willing to forgive the enemy to not even giving her fellow Jedi a second chance. And comparing that to a scene in The Rising Storm with Elzar Mann and Stellan Gios, where Elzar really doesn't have a reason to go dark side, and he has a moment of the dark side, and he goes to Stellan, that's like, I need help. Stellan's response is way more, like, morally Jedi. Like he's like, I'm here for you. You are always here for me. I'm always gonna be here for you. If you ever need help, I'm gonna be by your side. You made a mistake, but it's okay. Like, you're gonna make up for it. Like, you're gonna get a chance. Like, way more Jedi morality. Compare that to Avar just not even giving Skier another chance. Even though Skier isn't even doing anything necessarily wrong. So, Yeah, that's kind of my argument for myself, actually. That the writers have actually learned something. Not all the writers have learned something. Not all of them have, but some of them have learned from their mistakes. And Avar has gone from something that was a really bland and annoying character, and they've actually changed it from her being an overpowered princess to seeing one of the best Jedi, actually quintessential Jedi, actually declining in morality, the corruption and the warfare like withering away her Jedi ideals, and it's actually pretty interesting. And I would actually argue Stellan Gios is more of a quintessential Jedi than Avar Kriss at this point, because he's actually held up Jedi traditions in like a better sense. Like he's less dogmatic, he's more willing to give redemption. So, and he's not a Gary Stu, by the way. I mean, he literally gets beat up by some random Trandoshan thug because he's unwilling to take a life. I'm not joking. It's just some random Trandoshan thug kicks the crap out of him. So, Stellan Gios is not a Gary Stu. But yeah, that's my argument. It's a short video, but I didn't really have time to make a longer video. But oh well. Um. So yeah, this has been Dimon 360, and I've been defeated by myself. Avar Kriss actually isn't that much of a Mary Sue. She's not my favorite character though. I still don't really enjoy her. She's still not one of my favorite characters. Bell Zettifar, really, really cool character though. I like him, and I like Stellan Gios and Keith Trennis. They're actually pretty cool. But yeah. So the High Republic is not as bad as you might think. It's not great, but it's not terrible. And the Rising Storm is the best story in canon. Not in Legends, but in canon, it's probably one of the best. But that is going to be it for today, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.